Welcome to Real Life Talk. Let me introduce myself. My name is Blessing. Hello everyone, welcome to Real Life Talk with Blessing. Today is going to be very interesting, because we have very interesting topic to talk about. Is this your first time joining me on Real Life Talk with Blessing? Please don't forget to subscribe, share with your friends. Someone would definitely learn something from this. So today I invited some very experienced married people so we can talk about this, because this topic is actually something that destroyed a lot of marriages. Don't worry. You will hear a lot of things today. You will laugh and you will learn. So today we have Mr. Tari. He's an experienced father. He's a businessman in the oil industry. We also have Mr. Okey. Mr. Okey, big man.
My German.
He's an experienced father, a businessman also in the oil industry. And we have, our glamorous Mrs. Essay. She's beautiful. She's amazing, very intelligent. You need to meet her, guys. Forget all this description. The woman spec. Please silence that your phone, I beg. She's a businesswoman in the makeup industry. Mrs. Brenda is here with us also, an experienced mother, a businesswoman in the consultation industry. All these people I just spoke about are very, very intellectually sound. When I mean sound, I mean sound to the peak. So you listen to them while we talk about this topic and learn something. So thank you to my guest here today. And don't forget, I'm your host. I'm your humble host, KingB. It's nice to have every one of you here today. So today we're talking about something very sensitive, because this is something that actually destroys some marriages, some relationships. First, we're asking the men, if your wife's cooking is bad, will you tell her?
That's a very touchy subject. Well, it matters about what I'll consider bad. First of all, is there too much salt? Or is there too much spice, pepper, that kind of stuff? I mean, of course, I'll tell you that. But again, like I said, bad is relative. I think to some large extent, if it's salty or spicy, or not spicy enough, I think to that extent I will. Beyond that, it becomes more difficult.
Attitude is everything. Approach is everything. You understand? How will you tell her is the important thing. A lot of time, it's not if the cooking is bad, but how is your approach? Okay. How do you think a man should tell his wife? Mr. Tari?
Like Okey said, bad is relative. You can't really judge a woman from her cooking alone. There are other areas that she might be good in. I've met men that say, my wife doesn't know how to cook. My wife says she's a damn good mother. My wife is a very good cook, but she's a very bad mother. And you understand, people will say, my wife is a bad wife, but she's a good mother. That's a very good. So a human being cannot be good in all areas, and a human being cannot be bad in all areas. So you just need to take her for who she is, because you didn't marry her. When you met her, when you were toasting her, you didn't know initially that she was a good cook or she's a bad cook. So that thing that attracted you to her, let that thing be the basis of your relationship. That's the way I say it. But it's not a compulsory thing that she must cook.
And one more thing I need to add again as well to most of the time is that it's not about the taste of the food actually. It's about the effort she has put behind the cooking that needs to be applauded. But sometimes I go home at 8, 9, 10. And
Mr. Okey is a spec.
No, but it's true, because you go home late sometimes, and there's food on your table. Sometimes I'm forced to eat, not because I'm hungry, but because I want her to feel that effort wasn't wasted.
That's thoughtful.
You get to keep space empty.
For your wife's food.
And it makes for better breakfast.
Yes.
It makes for better breakfast. When you eat the one night, they make the morning one better.
It's true.
It's more about the effort.
A lot of times, you see young men who tell you, madam, my marriage didn't work because my wife cannot cook. My marriage ended because my wife cannot cook. That is why we're talking about this. That is why we're asking the men, because you guys are mature. You've been married for 20 years. He's been married for 18 or 17 years. Brenda here has been married for 18 years. Essay here has been married for over 20 years. I have been married for 17 years. Because when I see or I meet people who ask me questions, and Mama, what do I do? How do I tell her her cooking is bad? And in my head, I'm thinking, why is that the problem? Because that is why we're asking the men. You are matured men. We're asking you because we were very sure one way or the other, or at one point or the other, you had to face this. You understand?
It's just like everything else in life. You can't do something. You put an objective mind to want to do.
Yes.
If a woman knowingly knows that she can't cook, or she thinks her cooking is not up to par, I think it's only proper for her to make an effort to fill in that deficiency.
Yes.
For sake of her marriage and family. But you know, this question bothers on two aspects of life. You understand? There's the early stage of marriage when it's just me and you.
Oh, that's the honeymoon. All honeymoon phase. Yes.
Exactly. And it depends again if that problem is coming out when you're 10 years in marriage.
Yes.
It's a little bit frustrating when you're married for 10 years, and I assumed
by then
you should know, and you're still not knowing.
Then there's something wrong. You need to ask her.
Exactly.
Because if she's been giving you good meals, and then 10th, 11th year,
No, what he's saying is, how do you go through that suffer? The first stage is good. You shouldn't have to go through that for 10 years. And then before that 10 years, suppose don't learn. Isn't that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying. Because there are two phases with this. The early period when it's just me and you, and when you control that thing for the next 10 years.
Okay.
I mean, for me, it wouldn't be a suggestion or a thought that I would say, let me practice with my wife for cooking. I mean, that's out of the question for me personally speaking. But I would expect you in 10 years you should know better and try and fix that problem or that need. Okay, let me not say fix, improve on it.
Yes.
Improve on it, do better.
Why? Because let me share my own experience. I believe everything should be done with love. Because first, consider the efforts before criticism.
Yeah.
I have seen a man whose wife was a horrible cook, and with love, he made her the best. He spoke to her as a friend, not just a wife. He even went as far as getting her someone who taught her how to cook. That is where love comes in. And today, he's the happiest man. He said, I cannot lose my wife over a bad meal. That is what marriage should be about. Not the man jumping from one woman to the other, or in the name of, my wife cannot cook. Then talking down on the woman as if she made a mistake being a wife. Someone like me, when I came to River State, I didn't know anything about their food, like okazi, edikaikon, white soup, ofe nsala. I saw these things when I moved here to Port Harcourt. I remember one time I tried to make okazi. I didn't know they grind the leaves actually. I put the tin as they slice and give me for market.
You have to pound it.
I had no idea. That's what we're talking about. I hate you right now. Okay, I just hate you. I hate you so much.
Wow.
I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. You guys, stop. I hate you right now. I hate you right now.
Go on.
Oh my goodness. I just put them inside the pots like that as the sliced leaves. Omo, the thing stand inside soup. And it ended badly because the person who I cooked the food for was used to eating okazi here. So he knows how okazi soup is. So it really ended badly because he ended up criticizing me, which didn't end well. The thing is, manner of approach matters.
That's true.
Like Okey said, you have to learn it if you really want it to work. I had to go meet one woman in Woji some years ago. Now this woman teach me ofe nsala, okazi, edikaikon, white, nothing with this I not learn. Why? Because I wanted to know how to do it. You understand? So I learned different dishes. In fact, I did teach some young ladies now. Now, Brenda, you know that. So sometimes men need to understand, say, when woman they exhausted, if it affects the kitchen food, just like when man self no perform for bedroom because of tiredness. Not true now. Sometimes the thing not go move well, not go do gym because body tired. Yes now. So if she not cook well, you can help her get the assistance that she needs to be better instead of the abuse and castigation. Telling her how useless her food is. That can actually affect her. Think of it. Because a lot of times I say, think of the effort this person puts. We sit down here now, they go bring food for us. Now effort that they make her. You understand? So that's what we're talking about, because a lot of young men out there are really making mistakes in marriages. That's why you see a lot of marriages are crumbling. One, impatient. Okay, Brenda wants to say something.
I remember when I got married earlier. My husband was quite young when he got married. He was below 30, both of us, when we got married. So, and he had always lived in his family house. So his sisters were always doing the cooking, especially his elder sister. So when I came in, I remember making pepper soup once, and the first thing I heard was, this is not how Sisi being his elder sister, this is not how Sisi makes pepper soup. She does not put onion in her pepper soup. So this is not how they cook pepper soup. And I'll be like, okay, sorry. And the next day, I'll do something, we'll say, Sisi doesn't put a fork in her soup, and when she puts it, it's not this thick, it's supposed to be like. So one day I got upset. And I was like, he came back that day and was like, where's this food? I said, there's no food though. He said, why? I said, please ask Sisi to cook for you. I'm tired of Sisi doesn't do this, Sisi doesn't do that. Please, that's not why I came in. And
that's where criticism comes in.
From that day till today, he has never done that again. A few days ago, I made one kind of egusi soup. I was trying out one recipe. It didn't turn out too well, but I don't cook the soup, I don't cook it. We'll have to finish it, So, before he started eating, I was the one that told him, he get a CPO, so no need for you to talk. Just manage it like that. He now tasted it. He said, thank God you won't do me. So I know as I carry my mind, take chop. Take chop. But even if he needs to say something, he's always like, he's like, you're not feeling too well today because
this
your handwork.
You go off road.
And we both laugh over it. Unlike the initial time when he was always comparing me to his sister.
God bless you. Because that is why we talk about criticism. If it's not, why we're saying this, sir, a lot of young men complain nowadays. I'm leaving my wife because she cannot cook. I'm leaving my wife because she cannot cook. Oh, my wife's food is bad. That's what brought about this topic. You understand? A lot of young men especially, because they see it like, oh, women were groomed to cook. That's one major problem. Because I went to, where they call that place, for Moscow Road, sorry, I don't go to school where that place where me now they work, Courts. I went for affidavit. She took me around. And she took me somewhere and they have this screen. I saw because they showed them 10 batches. Do you know, out of 10 cases, 6 na divorce. It's getting worse by the day. A man will come to court and tell you, I'm leaving my wife because she cannot cook. Like I explained to them before you came in, I said, when I came to Port Harcourt, I've been here for almost 15 years. When I just came here, I came in from Benin. Benin get their own food. Here get their own food. The food here are not Sabia. And my husband don't day here. So he don't they chop enough food already. So when I came here, I realized, I did back. I tell them, so one day I go cook okazi. I leave them with a long, I then slice and I start put on. So okazis do like this inside pot. So when I did put, I said, what be this? Why is this like paper? You know, say it be like paper. I had to go to Woji to learn. This is another thing you can do. Another way you tell your wife is the way she will react. If you could, like you now, you're telling me, Sisi doesn't do this. You go back and say, what is this? If you want to correct me,
that's what I told him.
If you want to correct me with love, because I'm your wife.
But blessing, sorry to continue. You know, let's be realistic here. There's no how you can tell a man, whether it's a man that is dying, that he's not good in bed.
Like,
That-
like,
this
We'll,
that he will like
we'll
it.
still going to talk about that
It's a
one.
sensitive issue. So no matter how you put it, there's no nice way to tell a woman
This boy and noise.
that cooking is not good. Because even me as a guy, I know it's a sensitive topic.
Very sensitive.
You know. So to me, I think a woman knowing that should put that extra effort. A guy might say it once in a while, not in a bid to put you down, you know, initially. It should be in a bid to help you know that this thing needs to be improved upon.
Something I've come to realize about women, when I get too angry and they cook, when you are very happy, it reflects in the food.
Exactly.
When you are not happy, it reflects in the food.
Exactly.
There are times I tell my wife, your hand enter for this one. you know,
A man you be.
you know.
I like that wisdom.
remember I said
Yes.
But look, I mean, there's a way you can just, if you taste the food and it's not.
You know, you were not here. She made
just
the
say-
same statement.
Sweetheart, what happened to you? This.
Let's say your hand, no,
Not.
you not get them today.
Today's on.
Because
Is
that's
everything okay with you?
that is where attitude
understand?
comes in.
Yes.
Like you said, being too blunt is not good.
It's not.
You can't be too blunt in marriage.
Yeah, because if she turns around and says, okay, you don't like my food. That thing that you did yesterday, was this something?
We are coming to that topic. Oh.
No,
We are coming to
Your
that
mind now, your mind. Your
We are
mind now,
coming
you
to
did
that
something.
topic.
You did something.
We are coming to
But
that
I'm telling
topic.
you my mind now, you did not do anything.
You know,
We're coming to that
But you know,
topic.
Esther, another issue again is that the cooking method we African women cook is also a problem to her as well. Like the typical African woman will use her tongue to taste for salt, use her hand to taste for meat.
No measurements.
So if you give the African woman the same ingredients to cook soup for you 10 times,
They'll
to
cook
come
it
out
differently.
come out 10 different
Different
ways.
ways.
Yes, it's true.
True.
Do you understand?
Yes,
It's true.
So that's another problem against it.
Yeah, very
and
right.
the 10 of them,
like if an Edo woman cooks owu and a Yoruba
different
cook
from-
owu, it's a different.
from Delta.
Yes,
It's
it's
true.
different. You understand? Depending on where you learn from, you should have that thing behind our mind. So it's all about
adapting to.
Adapting, yeah.
to your environment. You know, you see woman, not be everything for this world you go say. Teach her the way you like her now. Oh, God.
Let me give another example. Like in my house, my grandmother used to have this cocoyam porridge, and I used to love it.
Yeah.
I can bet you that the last time I ate coconut porridge was when my grandmother was alive. You know, so I was coming from on there, and that sent me past through Obibo, and now I saw cocoyam. The way I take match my break, she stepped on me. When I talking, one time I was down, she was looking at me like, what is this thing you brought? She said, listen, to her, cocoyam is to make soup thick.
To make soup, yeah,
To make
exactly.
thick now. Mommy, I was like, this is not porridge.
Porridge,
Me, cocoyam porridge. She was like, she was seen that one before. You know? So, cocoyam was like getting bad. Me, I want to eat it. She said she doesn't know it.
Wahala.
I tried to do something. I told the house girl one day, go and throw it away. I felt bad that I didn't have my cocoyam porridge after I bought cocoyam. But I was like, I can't be forcing this woman to do something that she does not
She does
understand.
not know.
Didn't you know how it was done? Couldn't you have?
You'd have explained to
The
her.
issue now is that I took it that she would find it offensive or it's like that I went to kitchen to start doing something that she couldn't do. So I just like, let me for sake of peace. It's about compromise. Because you know, to my own thing, I might be wrong. I'm just making her understand something that I brought something that she doesn't understand. And I'm telling her to do it. And she's telling me she has no clue what I'm talking about. To me, I just felt this is something that it's about her kitchen. That she know where the Maggi dey for store. That she know where salt dey. You know, I'll be asking her. So I just felt that she's not comfortable with it. Let me not force her to do it. Right? So I just have to throw it away. But if you ask me, I would have loved to have that. But again, for me to bring it and for me to tell her, I have to get it right. And she might not be happy. I let it go.
Like me, I like what calorie.
Oh, yes. Man goes to market, come back, change, do
Yeah.
food, then you now let it in.
Have you seen some men embarrass their wives?
Even outside,
Yes,
it's worse when you do it outside.
Louder. We can't hear you from the back.
What is this rubbish?
That's so unfair.
I have been somewhere. I don't know if the man went to visit him. I do. Why are you embarrassing me? What kind of nonsense? What this nonsense?
This is what I want people to hear, please.
It's wrong.
This is what I want because this is what he's saying is not a joke. What he's saying is not a joke.
Men talking down on their wives is a human being too.
My panelists, according, I will not be so. The panelists, I say don't give me grammar. I don't go school. Na 9th school I go. So I'm so grateful to every one of you. You know, you guys have really said a lot, and you have taught my audience a lot.